Going on, people? I think we're live. I'm getting the signals that we're live on my end, but how is everybody doing on PTCAS Day? It's finally here. Thursday, July 5th. PTCAS Day is here. Everything we've been talking about, everything we've been working hard towards the whole year. Maybe it's been 2 years for you or so. Maybe you just found about it and you're scrambling your things together to apply. Whatever it is, welcome. Welcome to Thursday, at least this cycle, Thursday, July 5th. PTCAS is now open. If you haven't heard before, now you know. PTCAS is open and you're good to apply for this upcoming cycle. So basically, this cycle runs from today all the way around until the calendar year, around like end of June, middle of June. There's probably a calendar that breaks all this down on ptcas.org. So I'm going to share this out, or this is going to be shared out. Then we'll go into what PTCAS is, what's the purpose of it. Then we'll answer some questions. I know on Tuesday we did Ask Us Anything, and you guys had a ton of great questions. So we'll get into those a little bit later as well. And if you do have more questions, you know the deal. Make sure you put them down below, and I'll do my best to get to them. But Joseph is out of town on this Thursday, but don't worry, he'll be back very, very soon. So today, it's just me and you. I'm going to make this very interactive. There's going to be a lot of comments if you guys participate, and we'll get through a lot of questions. And yeah, we'll try to ease some anxiety on this day. I've gotten texts, I've gotten personal Facebook messages, we've gotten messages in our pre-PT Grind business page. I know the pre-doctor physical therapy students group has been lighting up with questions. I was on clinicals all day today. I was in the hospital and my phone was just going and going and going. And I had patients to see. I had my CI dragging me places. We were running around the hospital. I was like, man, I guess it is Thursday. Y'all blowing it up. Y'all are ready to apply. So I'm proud of y'all. Let's get it. What's up, Carl? What's up? So yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna make sure everything's good to go and it's all shared out. And shout out to our interns. I got Sarah running the background for me today. Shout out to her. Shout out to Ben Kim. You guys loved Ben Kim's post. That was actually him with Game of Thrones. Brace yourself. PTCAS is coming. So shout out to Ben Kim. Tag him in the post. I don't know if you're watching, bro, but yo, you're killing it. All the majority of the Instagram posts are him, as well as our internship crew as well. Zanai is killing it with the podcast. If you're not up to date on our podcast, preptgrind@libsyn.com. If you like iTunes, if you're team iPhone or Android. If you're Android, libsyn.com, preptgrind.libsyn.com. If you're iPhone, just go to your app, iTunes app, and type in pre-PT Grind. It will pop up. Make sure you listen to our podcast every Wednesday. We just had an episode drop from last year's Smart Success PT with Cruz Romero. So check that out. He has a great, amazing story. So you want to listen to that as well. Yeah. Oh, then our Super Grind Sunday, that's Sarah as well. Make sure you're signed up under that list on our email list. And yeah, our newest member, Adriana, she is killing it with YouTube now. She's taking over for YouTube. So yeah, if you missed any pre-PT Grind chats in the past, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Just type in pre-PT Grind on YouTube. You guys know how to work it. And, check out all the videos from last year. Like, we've been doing this technically over a year. So you can check out all our videos, pre-PT chats and other things that we have there. But yeah, let's get rolling. So I'm just going to start with this. I'm going to start with a few things. Then we'll get into some questions you guys left. But before I do that, if you guys can answer this question for me, now that PTCAS is finally here and we don't have to talk about, when it comes, when it opens, what are you going to do? What are you guys most fearful of with PTCAS now opened? Like, this is not hypothetical anymore, right? It's here, it's open. You guys can go in the app, apply, and do the waiting game, do the what does Joseph call it? Like the free falling. Like, that's gonna happen for a lot of you soon. So throughout the broadcast, just drop down. Like, about this PTCAS thing, like what is scaring you the most, right? I know there's a lot of parts to it. Are you just not organized? You don't know what it is. You don't have the proper mindset. You're not motivated. You're a procrastinator. You just have anxiety in general. So let me know. Let me know what about PTCAS really trips you up. Really trips you up. Let's see what we got here. Supplemental essays take more time than I thought. Oh, true. If you guys don't have the PTCAS or the PT application checklist, it is pinned in the comments below. Sarah hooked it up for me today. Make sure you get on that because I do talk about that in the PTCAS checklist. So make sure you guys sign up for that. It's a 2-page, 3 pages if you count the cover page. Then I go through it with you in a video at the end after you get your download. So make sure you got that as well. So yeah, definitely supplemental essays. Make sure you know that some schools do want supplemental material from you after the formal PTCAS thing. So the specifics of it, you don't want to do anything wrong. Hey, I understand that. There's a lot that can go into it. There's a lot that you can mess up on. So take your time, but at the same time, try to do it as efficiently as possible. But double check it, triple check each section before you move on, and make sure you're ready before you hit eSubmit. So yeah, so what is PTCAS? If you guys know, before I do the answer, what does PTCAS stand for before I say it? If anybody can put it down below, see who's first. What does PTCAS stand for? So PTCAS is really just this big bowl, this big thing that you put everything into. You just dump your essay in it, you dump your transcripts, you dump your GRE, your observation hours, your letters of recommendation, your resume in there, parts of your resume in there as well. It's just a big melting pot of everything you've done over this, past whatever it is, 6 months, 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, everything you've done to put into this application. Like that's what PTCAS is. It's a big melting pot. Oh, there we go. Melissa got it for me. Physical therapy, centralized application. There you go. So basically it's what it stands for. It's a centralized application. Maybe some of you have done something called Common App when you are applying to like undergrad. It's kind of the same thing. You just put everything in there. Then the kicker is that the schools you're applying to can go in there and then take out what they want, right? So you're putting everything in. We get a lot of questions a lot of times like, should I put this? Should I put that? Can they see the best? Can they see the worst? Just put everything in there, and the schools you're applying to, you see, when you go on PTCAS and you see that, oh, this school wants that, this school wants this, they want this letter of recommendation, they want that one, they want this class, put it all in there, and they will sort it out themselves. PTCAS is there for verified information so the schools can do less work. And ultimately you too, so you don't have to send in, 2 applications over there, 2 applications over there. It's just one big melting pot that the schools can scoop out and put in their own bowl, then rank you or, delineate you based on their own criteria. So that's what PTCAS is. If there's any questions, let me know in the comments. And of course, we'll hit them up for you. So yeah, that is what PTCAS is. And that's what the purpose really of it is, to make it easier for the schools and yourself. So if there's any specifics, oh, and let me get to some of these comments. Oh, general anxiety about the application. And when they say information carries over, will my references carry over? Oh, okay. So this was one of the questions I was going to get to in a little bit, but hey, I'll get to it now. So there's things that will carry over if you're not applying this year, but you're applying next. There's a few things that carry over, like your personal information, your transcripts, and your GRE score. So those are the 3 main things that I know about. If anything changes this, this cycle and they update stuff, of course, we'll do our research, but let us know as well. But those are the 3 main things that will carry over. I'm pretty sure the references do not carry over, but it's not okay, if you've done your due diligence, it's not a big deal. Like if they save the letter and you save the letter as well, just have them re-upload it or write a new one if they can do better. And you'll send them an email again, and they'll just fill it out and boom, upload it again. So I'm pretty sure it does not carry over, but it's not a big deal for the letters of recommendation. It's just a quick upload again. Most nervous about putting together my personal essay. Have you guys seen, there's a couple videos going around, a couple with Joseph, one with me about the personal essay. I told you guys, put your introductory sentence in the comments below. We'll give it our stamp of approval and we'll help you out with the essays. If you do want your essay edited by us, last cycle, we did it all year, pretty much all year round. So if you do want it edited by us, send us an email or contact us at contact@preptgrind.com or send us an email at preptgrind.com talking about, oh, I heard you talking about you guys edit essays, you review essays. Can I have more information about it? And we'll tell you more information about it and we'll go from there. So yeah, essay is a big part and supplemental essays as well. So let's see if I have any other questions here, then we'll move on. Oh yeah, we got questions. All right, Morgan. In the section for references, it says will you be using committee references? Yes or no? What does that mean? What does a committee reference mean? Great question. So committee reference basically means a group reference letter. So basically a group of people are vouching for you on the same letter. So that counts as one letter of recommendation. So if it's a group of physical therapists from the place you are a PT tech at, or the place you observed at, or a group of professors, whatever group you want it to be, they will all, write a letter on your behalf, like one group letter. Then it can have like all the names at the bottom, et cetera, et cetera. But it's one group letter from, a group of therapists or professors on your behalf. So that's just what they're asking. Are you using that, or are you having individual letters? So that's all that is. Check. Got that marked off. So next one. All right. People say not to leave stuff blank. Licenses, certification sections, and all that worries me. I may get CPR certified. Oh, can you get CPR certified online? Let me reread this just to make sure I'm answering your question. So people say to not leave stuff blank. That section worries me. Okay. Can you get CPR certified online? I believe you can. I had this question before. Ultimately, of course, check with the school, make sure that they have no, queries about that, and that they'll reject you. They'll be like, oh no, I don't want any online applications or online, CPR, whatever certification. So first of all, check with the school. But as a general rule, I don't think they would have a problem with you having an online CPR certification. What they want the CPR certification for ultimately is that when you go on clinical rotations, a lot of your internships will want you to have a CPR certification. So think of it like this. If you have an intern, if your school is set up like this, they have an internship like in your first 6 months or your first year, they might want you to be CPR certified either online or in person with you doing the real thing with the dolls and blowing and whatever. They might want that because your internships in the first 6 months to a year want you to have that just in case a patient drops out, they fall, you find them, unresponsive, and you get there early to the clinic, or anything can happen, right? They want you to be CPR certified in case something happens like that on your internships. Now, if you do your internships later, like my school, like in the end of the first year and a majority of ours in the third year, they might have the classes for you, right? They might do it. So for us, they did it in our first year and our third year. They did the CPR class for us because it's usually a two-year expiration date. So they had us do it in school. So that might be the only reason why they want it early, or they have any queries about online versus offline. So let's see what else we got. All right, Haley, I've been seeing a lot of you in the questions in the group. So let's get to this question. What up? So glad you're here again on the pre-PT chat and in the group. You're killing it. You're killing it. I can't wait to see you win in this application cycle. All right, so is it bad if you don't have any honors or awards or certifications? No, No, I don't. So your application, first of all, no, but your application is a reflection of you. First and foremost, you have to remember that. Your application is just a paper reflection of you. And I've said this before on a couple pre-PT chats. Like, who you are today is a product of who you were last week, last month, last year. This application did not start today. You guys have to remember that. This application did not start today. This application started 4 freaking years ago. And for those of you who have like a lower GPA and are kicking yourselves in the butt, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. This application started freshman year when you messed up in that class, where you didn't know what you're doing and you didn't know PT school was this competitive and you needed to have this GPA. That application started 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever. That's when that application started. So do honors and certifications and awards really affect you? Not necessarily if that's not really what you're banking on. If you have a lot of extracurricular activities, but you just don't happen to have an award for it, hey, that's fine. You have other stuff to supplement. Or is your GPA rocking? Did you kill it on your GRE? Do you have other things to supplement that? Like you don't need an honor, a certification, an award, a scholarship. You don't need any of that. But does that help? Absolutely, right? So you got to keep that in mind. I don't want to say what's in place of your honors or your certifications or your awards, but you got to make sure your volunteer experiences, your observation hours, your letters of recommendation are rock solid. You got to make sure that's rock solid. So so basic answer, no. Long-winded answer, like I just said, your application started last year. It doesn't really matter so much about those small details. It's who you were 4 years ago, yesterday, last week. That's really going to make a difference and make you stand out in your application. So let's see. I'll be hitting you up when ready. Oh, Melissa, you've been with us for a long time. I'm just waiting for you to get in our course. Like I'll call you out. You've been following us for a long time. So we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. So we're just waiting on you, Melissa. Just waiting on you. Let's see what else we got. Okay, there we go. Can you talk about what it means to submit for verification means? Is that a preliminary step to officially submit your application to schools you're applying to? Submit for verification means. So give me some more context in this, Melissa. Are you talking about like a letter of recommendation, observation hours, whatever? What section of PTCAS does this fall under? Because it sounds like to me that they're looking for like your observation hours to be verified before you e-submit, or they're looking for your transcripts to be verified before you submit. So that's what it sounds like to me. But throw it in the comments if I can't get to it. Oh, transcripts. Yeah. They want it to be verified before you e-submit. So like I talked about earlier at the beginning, PTCAS is just a melting pot for the schools to scoop out what they want. They want to make sure it's verified. They want to make sure you're not messing with things. They want to make sure you're not tampering with any information. So they want an official transcript sent directly from the school to them. They don't want it to go to you at all. So yeah, that's what it means. Oh, what's up, Paul? All right. SSPT, what's going on, man? I saw you just joined season, what is it, 6? Yeah, season 6. So welcome to the SSPT fam. Hope to see you at SSPT Live 2019. So let's get to your question. Can we read the letters of recommendations that people write for us before we submit? Technically, I guess you can. It just depends on the relationship you have with them. Now, I'm assuming your question is asking if they submit it through PTCAS, can you read it? Then no. If they send it to you in an email or they show it to you in person, oh, of course you can read it. And oh, change this, change that. Like, I guess you can go behind their back. Like, they can't stop you technically. But if you're talking about when you send them the email, then they fill out that form and upload their letter of recommendation to PTCAS. No, No, you can't see it. We've talked about this before, but letters of recommendation basically are meant to be like, what are they saying behind your back? Like, right? So what is that PT you observed last week, 2 months ago, saying about you behind your back? Like, that's probably, in my opinion, if I had my own school, I would weigh letters of recommendation like the top thing. Like, that's powerful. Like, what people say about you, they're taking time out of their day to write you a letter. They got a family, they got people to feed, they got groceries to pick up, they got a job, they've been going forever, like all day. Then they take time to write you a letter of recommendation. I say that's one of the biggest things. So can you read it? Technically, you know, if they send it to you, but if it's going through PTCAS, no, you can't read it. All right. Let's get into this one. What is up, Kevin? All right. So with the question, does your academic record accurately reflect your capabilities? If the answer is no, how should you go about describing why it does not, in the box, without just giving excuses? So your academic record does not accurately reflect your capabilities without giving excuses. Well, you have to justify it. Like, if I were to ask you, if we were on a call, or if we were in, you know, the pre-PT grind messages, I would ask you why. Why does it not? So that's what you have to ask yourself. Then what I recommend doing is writing it down, typing it out, whatever you have to do, then reading it back to yourself as if you were reading this from a person applying to your school. Right? That's what I recommend doing. I'd recommend you answer this question for yourself and you reading it back to yourself as if someone were applying to your school and saying, is this valid? Does this make sense? Is this good enough for my school? Because ultimately, okay, let me break down some technicalities for you, because you know, it's good to understand these things. When schools look to get accredited, so why are grades so important? Why do they matter? You know, why are they asking you this question about your grades? There's certain standards and criteria PT schools have to uphold themselves when accepting applicants. So yes, they can accept who they want based on certain things, but at a base level, there's a standard they have to follow from CAPTI in order to be accredited. So they're not just shooing you off just because. They might be shooing you off because of grades, because they need to stay accredited, right? It's in their best interest to stay opened as a school for people to apply to based on certain criteria that CAPTI sets forth. And CAPTI is the accreditation service for PT schools. So when they're asking you this question, and let me back up just a bit, CAPTI is CAPTI has certain recommendations, and it's basically, or it's largely based on like the GRE grades and stats, stuff you're always worried about on, and that's what they want them to base a majority of their students on. So they're following CAPTI first, then they're trying to save themselves second, because if you fail out, you're costing them money and you're costing someone else that could have been in that spot. You're costing them a seat and tuition dollars for the next 2-3 years, however soon you fail out. So that's why they're even asking this question, first of all. So we have to take it from that stance. Like, I can just give you an answer, Kevin. But is it better? You guys know the saying, teach you to fish or, you know, give you a fish. So I'm trying to teach you the background information so you can write the best answer for yourself. Okay. So if you understand that question from that perspective, that they're trying to stay open as a school, first of all, they're not trying to lose accreditation. Second, they're not trying to lose their tuition dollars if you fail out. Then next, they're trying to see you succeed. They're trying to make sure you understand the curriculum going forth and that you can handle it. So same thing, I'd recommend writing it down, then answering it as if someone were applying to your school in that situation. So don't just make up, you know, excuses. And if, you know, life does happen, I understand that. And, you know, things come up and you didn't prepare, or there was a life event, someone was in a family emergency, so you ended up, you know, withdrawing or failing from a class. Just be genuine and explain your situation and explain how you've improved or, you know, stay the same, or whatever your situation is. So that's what I recommend doing. Of course, hit us up, contact Pre-PT Grind if you need more details. We can kind of walk through that. All right, Kevin. All right. For reporting courses, what do you do if your course is 1.5 credits? It only lets me do whole numbers. 1.5. I'd have to look at it. I haven't been in PTCAS today yet. I just got home from the hospital, so I can do some more research on that. 1.5 credits. If there's a section to like kind of type out a little explanation, or if there's not that section there, I recommend just emailing the schools and asking, not the schools, email PTCAS and see what they would have to say about that. But I'll have to go in there tonight and check on it. But if there's a description part, I recommend just putting it in there, like, okay, just put one. Yeah, I'd say just put one for now, then type a little description about actually it's 1.5, but you guys won't let me put half credits. Then contact PTCAS and see what they'll do about that. All right. But I'll have to do more research tonight. Man, we got a lot of people on here. People worried about PTCAS, huh? Y'all is worried. We've done pre-PT chats before on different topics. Y'all been like, nah, I don't want to listen to that one. Nah, I don't care about that one. But today, y'all in here heavy. PTCAS has really got y'all. Okay. All right. I'm here for it. Let's do it. Oh, yeah, Aaron. You already know. You already know. Does it send? All right. Let's get to your question. Does it send off verification for observation hours once you put them in if you choose electronic verification? Yes. Aaron, go in put this question in our alumni group, and I can get to it after the broadcast. There's a link, and PTCAS further explains electronic transcripts. So I can either go live in there, or I can put the link in there. Whatever you guys need, go in our alumni pre-PT success program, and I'll explain that further. But yeah, it's a link on PTCAS. They explain it further. But basically, yeah, just make sure all your observation hours are in. Don't rush this part. Make sure it's all in. It's all good. It's, you know, nothing's missing. Then once you send it in for verification, it'll send them like an email or something so they can verify it. So yeah, man, we got a lot of questions. All right, cool. Let's get to this next one. All right, Ashley, what's going on? What's going on? Can I still submit my application if I'm only missing the GREs and plan to take the exam late August? Yes, yes. There's a pinned link here to the PTCAS application checklist that I put together. I think it was on Tuesday. I actually put it out to you guys in a pre-PT chat. It's pinned here. If you don't see it, we'll put it in there, or just contact us at Contact Pre-PT Grind. Now, but I talk about this there. There are certain things that can be changed or kind of tampered. I don't want to say tampered with, but it can be changed after you e-submit, and GRE is one of them. So you can apply. You can apply without the GRE taken, I guess. With the GRE pending, you can apply. The only thing I'd say about that, is that if you do, you got to keep this in mind. If you do submit your application without the GRE, it can go to the schools and, you know, be verified and be in, take the 4 to 5 weeks, whatever. I don't want this to happen to you where they see your application, they're running through it, then they see they don't have your GRE, you don't have your GRE in there, then they put it like in a different pile. Be like, oh, the incomplete pile. Ashley Martinez does not have the GRE done. Oh, we'll just look at our application after it's done. Then they look at the next 5 people and end up accepting the next 5 people because their application is finished, right? I don't want that to happen to you. But if it does come to that, I know that might scare you. However, if it does come to that, it's not that big a deal. I just want you to keep that in mind, that some schools do work like that. They don't even look at incomplete applications. They have so many that they only look at completed ones because they have so much time. They have so many applications and things like that. So I want you to keep that in mind. But technically, yes, you can e-submit your PTCAS application with the GRE pending. So keep that in mind. All right, Haley, got another question. I love it. I love it. If I'm taking a class in the fall, that's a prereq. But 2 of my apps close before I get the grades. Is PTCAS going to let me enter them, or how will I send them to the school? Okay, so there's something called academic update. If somebody wants to put that in the chat or put that in your Google search bar, there's something called academic update, and that's what you will do. Okay, so type it in, do some research on it, but basically academic update opens so you can change your transcripts again in about the winter time. It's like end of December, early January, depending on the cycle and how they do the dates. But it will open back up again for your transcripts. So the people taking fall classes, you know, in your situation or similar to your situation, can now input their finished fall classes. Let's say you got an A in it, because you're going to get an A. We already know. Let's say you put in your classes and you took 2 classes and then you got an A in it. PTCAS will open up during academic update. You'll put in your transcripts, you put in your A and all that. Then yes, you will need to have another transcript sent so they can verify that A or A+. Then they'll go through the works with that. But that's what you'll go through with the application. It's called academic update. Okay. All right. Oops, sorry, same thing. All right. What is up, Melissa? What's up? I'm also curious about the early decision option. Does that limit where else you can apply? And if the early decision program says no, then what would the next steps be? Gotcha. All right, so early decision, you can apply only to one school. Early decision, you can apply only to one school. So if you have your top school, the one you want to go to no matter what, you apply to that one school and one school only. You cannot apply to other schools. If they accept you, you will end up going to that school regardless, because you've done early decision and you do want to go to that school, and that's why you did early decision. But they have a deadline themselves as well. The schools have a deadline where they have to give you an answer. So if they give you an answer yes, then good, you're going to that school. If they give you an answer no, then your application is now open to apply to other schools. And that application is mid-September. I always get this confused, so don't quote me on it. Somebody put it in the comments. It's either September 15th or like the 25th, something like that. Just verify it on PTCAS. But yeah, that's how it works. So early decision, you can only apply to one school. If they do not end up accepting you for early decision, your application is now open to apply to other schools and branch out. And yeah, that's how it works. All right. Oh, I think Haley answered. If you get accepted into early decision, you can't apply elsewhere. All right, yeah, she got you. Just put the link in. All right, Aaron, you got it. You got it. Yeah, Ben. I just gave you a shout out. I just gave you a shout out, so you'll catch it. Team replay. I'll see you later. All right. What's going on, Alice? So how do you send your GRE scores to PTCAS? All right, so there's also a link here I'll have to put in the comments, or somebody can put it in for me. Let me charge my laptop, guys. So there's codes. There are PTCAS codes. So if you just go to PTCAS and type in like GRE, I'm sure you can find it if you really want to do the digging. But there are codes for the schools. There is I believe it's GRE code and like a university code. So your schools you're applying to is either going to put that in, or the schools you're applying to is either going to use university codes, GRE, or GRE codes. And when you take the GRE, or when you register, you're going to put those codes in. Then after your GRE is done, based on those codes, the GRE knows where to send your scores to. So that's how you send the GRE scores to PTCAS, whether it's you just took it or you've taken it at an earlier date. So there's codes for it, and that's how it goes. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. There's the link for the GRE. So you're going to find all your codes there for the different schools. Great hands. Oh, appreciate it. Sam, appreciate it. She has a podcast episode with it. Sam or Sarah, if you guys are still on here listening, just drop the podcast link to your episode. Definitely appreciate it, Sam. She goes in about her journey, her pre-PT journey last year. So check it out. Definitely check it out. Pre-PT Grind, just put that into iTunes or pre-PT Grind at Libsyn.com if you're Android, Google phone, anything like that. All right. Oh, October 15th. Thanks, Tabby. I think you're talking about I don't think, maybe that's the early decision date. Not sure. But yeah, thanks. Now, how do you know when your GRE score has officially been sent? I don't, at least when I took it, I don't think they're going to send you a confirmation email that it's been sent, but as bad as this may sound, you can trust them that it's been sent. Like once it's been sent, you can trust them that it's been sent. So when I took the GRE, I took it, got my score, then I pressed submit. I think there was like an extra step for like the schools I was applying to, just to make sure like I was doing the right schools were inputted. Then I sent it off like that. There was no like verification that it was sent. Like I don't think I got an email back, but I pretty much trusted them that it got sent. Then what you're going to look for on PTCAS is a verification that your GRE scores are in. So you might get a green check, a blue check, something like that, that it's been verified, but that's how you know it's been, that PTCAS has got it. However bad that may seem, like, okay, you got to wait or whatever. But that's how it works. You're going to check PTCAS to make sure you got a check or whatever they're doing this cycle to make sure it's verified, and that is in. Can you go back and change to do an early decision? I don't think so. But what I'd say about early decision is that don't do it unless you're set on that school. Okay, I'll say that again. Don't do early decision unless you're 1,000,000,000% that you want to go to that school. Because you can do your own early decision. I talked about this. I think we had a 5-day video series a couple months back. I talked about early decision, that you can do your own early decision for multiple schools. Of course, it's not the official early decision. I understand that. But if you're not 1,000% set on that school, you need to do your own early decision. Give yourself a freaking deadline, September 2nd, August 15th, August 20th, whatever you got to do. If you're not 100% on one school, do your own early decision and apply to 5 schools, 6 schools, 4 schools at your own early decision date. That's another option you can do. So if you're not 100% set on that school, don't do early decision, because if you don't get in, you're a step back. And now after that early decision deadline is finished, now you can apply to other schools. And now you're a step back when you could have applied your own early decision, pseudo early decision at your own pace and applied early to 5 schools, 6 schools, 4 schools, and been, had an interview early rather than later, and their class is not already half full. So that's what I recommend doing. If you're not 100% invested, set on going to that school, do your own early decision and apply to multiple schools as early as possible. So sorry, I kind of rambled, but to answer your question, maybe you can go back in and click, like if you haven't e-submitted your application, then you should probably be able to go back and e-submit. Sorry, I've been talking too much. I've been rambling on. It's been a long day. Sorry. But if you have not e-submitted, you should be able to go back and click that button saying you want to do early decision. So it just depends on if you've e-submitted or not. So yeah, that's the GRE link. PTCAS date. All right, gotcha, Tabby. Yeah, that's Sam's pre-PT Grind episode link. Go check it out. All right. So I think this is the last question, then I'll start to wrap it up, guys. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. We got a lot of people on here. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. If you guys have been scrolling on Facebook, you've probably been seeing me and Joseph's face there with the 1-minute videos. So keep looking out for those, engage in them, tag your friends, all that good stuff. Start your essay. I did one about essays. Joseph did one about picking your schools. So make sure that you follow those videos and you engage in them so you're in the best place to apply this year. So just to understand it better, you put the GRE codes for each school, and that tells ETS to send it to those schools through PTCAS. Yes, if I'm understanding this right. ETS, once you put the codes in, ETS will know what school to send it to. So basically, instead of saying, okay, NYU, instead of typing out New York University DPT program, NYU is basically, and don't quote me on this code, go to that link and make sure you have the right code. Say their code is 1010. Instead of typing out NYU, you just put in 1010. And ETS knows to send it to NYU or Texas A&M or FAMU or San Francisco, whatever. So that's, yes, basically. What's up, Maribel? I gotta go back to the West Coast and meet up again. Hope everything's going well in this application cycle for you. Hope you're not too stressed out. Don't have too much anxiety, but we'll definitely have to meet up again. How does the transcript matching form work? Do I print it and give it to the office? Absolutely. You got it. You got it. Fill out that form. It should have a barcode on there unless they changed anything. Fill it out, print it out, give it to the registrar's office at your school, and they will send it. It should have the PTCAS headquarters address on there. They'll send it directly to PTCAS, and boom. If you are doing electronic, the e-transcripts or electronic transcripts, there was a question about that from Aaron earlier. That's a little different process. Just make sure you read the fine print on that and make sure you have everything in order. But search PTCAS, just type in electronic transcript, boom, it'll pop up and you're good to go. But if you are doing it paper-wise, then yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. That is how you do it. All right, y'all. All right. I'm going to try to get to some questions. A couple more questions that were left from last time. Now I'm calling it a day. It's been a long day. I got to study for the boards. I got to eat. I got to do some extra stuff for pre-PT grind as well. But if you are team replay, drop it down below. Put your questions. We'll try to get to it as well. But also, you guys know where to find us. Contact preptgrind.com, preptgrind.com, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram stories. Our email list, Super Grind Sunday going out. We got a webinar coming up soon. We got a lot of good stuff. So keep your eyes open. Go to our business page and make sure you're seeing us first. I think it's like under, I did a video on this a while ago, so I should know, but just go to it and click like one of the drop down arrows and just make sure you're seeing us first. So instead of default, put like, oh, seeing you guys first in my feed, whatever it says. So, yeah. Oh, better. Yeah. What was the place we went to? I forgot the name of it, but it was a banging noodle spot. So thanks for coming out. It was Magdalena there as well. Then Dylan was on the West Coast. So it was a good time. I have to do another West Coast meetup. If you guys are on the West Coast, put it down below. We'll try and do a meetup next time I'm out there. So let's see if I can get to a couple questions. All right. Let's see. What undergrad elective courses would you recommend students to take? Outside of the prerequisite courses, I'd say you can almost take whatever you want. Just make sure that it's benefiting you in the long run. So as long as the prereqs are done, take whatever you want. Make sure it's benefiting you in the long run. Another one is that what are simple ways to strengthen your application outside of specific requirements like the stats? What if your GPA is good and your stats are okay, but you don't have a lot of extracurricular experiences? So what I recommend doing outside of the traditional, volunteer hours, volunteering there, observations, good letters of recommendation, your grades are good, your GRE is, decent. You're in kind of the middle of the pack, right? The application, the applicants are kind of, you guys are kind of on this bell curve. Okay, there's some super good students with some super high stats. There's some, students with some super low stats. Then everybody kind of gathers in the middle, right? So what's going to happen when you're in the middle? Once you have a decent GPA, once you have decent GRE scores, so what? Okay, So what? So do everybody else. If you have a good GPA, a decent GPA, a decent GRE, there's thousands of other people that have that as well. What are you going to do? What makes you different, right? What makes you different as an applicant if you have that middle of the pack range of stats? So you got to do something outside the norm. I'll give you some examples. Some people in our course went to Smart Success PT Live in May. Some of them are already freaking signed up for Smart Success PT Live 2019 and May of next year. That is going to make them stand out. If they have an average GPA, I mean, like a good GPA, decent GRE scores, they have that on their resume that they went there, that's going to pop up. That's going to stand out like a sore thumb on their interview, on their resume, on their application, that they're going to be like, what is this? No other pre-PT in the country has went there. There was only 10 of you who went? Oh my gosh, tell me more about that. Then they'll be like, when they see your application come up again in meetings for acceptance or whatever, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that student knows about business. They know about networking. They know about how insurance works. They know this PT who I know, who I went to PT school with. Like there were over 200 physical therapists there. And now whoever they made connections with, the department chair might know the PT that they met at Smart Success PT Live. And just because of who they know and the information they know now, boom, they stand out like a sore thumb, and they might get accepted points and ranks over you. So I definitely recommend going outside of the box, finding things that are different, that are, if things come to you quickly, like, oh, this is something I can do, it came quickly to everybody else that's applying. Oh, what can I do to stand out? Volunteer hours at a outpatient physical therapy clinic. Boom, that's what everybody else is doing. If you're doing something different, like, oh, I went on a mission trip to, it doesn't even have to be far. It doesn't have to be out of the country, but if it does, it'll help you stand out. But if you're like, oh, I helped out in hippotherapy or aquatics, or I went to, a business conference, or I know this person, that person, that person. There's also a student who went to a student in our pre-PT success course who was at Smart Success PT Live, and I hooked them up with it's kind of like an internship. She's kind of helping him out with the NPTE course business that he has running. So if you guys don't know what that is, the NPTE is the National Physical Therapy Examination, basically the board exams for physical therapy. Now this pre-PT student is helping that person who knows the NPTE inside and out with their business. You guys got to let that sink in for a minute. Because why are they making you take the GRE? Because they're concerned about you passing another standardized test that influences their school rankings. Okay? You guys got to understand that. So if she is helping somebody else out who knows a business person out who has their own NPTE company, if she understands the NPTE as a pre-PT, she's getting in like that because that's what they care about. They want you to pass the boards in the long run. So if they see that she does that and she has NPTE knowledge, she knows how it works inside and out, boom. Oh, you're passing the boards. Easy, easy. Let's go. You're accepted. That's what's going to make you stand out. Having those connections, knowing those people, being in those situations, having experiences that are different from people, that's what you can do when you have that middle range GPA GRE score. So that's what I want you guys to keep in mind. If it's coming to you easy, do a little bit more thinking. Contact us, run some ideas by us, see what can be done. But think outside the box, and that's what's going to make you stand out in the long run. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. There's a lot of people on today. Hope you got some value out of this PTCAS, whatever we're calling it, PTCAS pre-PT chat. So yeah, hope that helped a lot. Good luck. Don't stress too much. Don't have too much anxiety going on. Take some deep breaths. This is the first day. Of course, make sure you're on it. Make sure you're inputting the things you need to do. But ultimately, understand that you don't have to submit tomorrow. You can, but you don't have to submit tomorrow. Take some time. If you've been working on it all day, have some dinner, watch some TV, take some deep breaths, go on a walk, whatever you need to do. Because when you are anxious, when you are freaking out about it, that's when mistakes can happen. And I don't want that to happen to you. So take it easy. Understand that it is a process, and you don't have to submit tomorrow. So thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. This will be on YouTube. This will be replay here as well. But yeah, happy PTCAS day. Take some time for yourselves as well. Appreciate all the thanks and everything. Joseph will be back very, very soon. Look out for all the stuff that we got going on, all the videos, the PTCAS checklist, webinar coming out soon. You guys will be seeing more about that this coming weekend. It's coming Sunday. So be on the lookout, tag your friends, get them involved. Save your seat at the webinar coming up soon because it will fill up quickly. We're trying to get you into PTCAS. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Into PT school as quickly as possible without wasting time or money. So be on the lookout for that.